Hey guys, it's Vex here with LOLHighscore.com, and today I wanted to show you Tabletop Simulator. Now, Tabletop Simulator is a game that you can pick up on Steam for around $20 right now. And this game, created by Berserk Games, as you can see here in the right-hand corner, it lets you simulate, as the name suggests, all sorts of tabletop games. So you've got poker, chess, checkers, you can play dice, there's all sorts of stuff on here. And not only is there the content that the game provides you, such as these card games and dice games, but there's also an endless supply of workshop content created by the community, as well as paid DLC that you can get through Steam. Now, the base game as it is already has some pretty cool stuff, but it's nothing that you can't find on the internet to play in like the browser. Like, okay, so here you've got just like a basic deck of cards if you wanted to play blackjack or something. And, you know, which this is pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty nicely set up. So you, like, shuffle the cards, draw, flip, etc. You know, flip the cards out to people. You know, which is that's pretty cool. So, I mean, we could check out, just to show you guys what, you know, say checkers looks like. You know, just normal checkers deck. You can take turns playing. Basically, the physics of the game, it's not really governed by any rule sets like naturally in the game. It's kind of like an honor system, so anybody can take any piece here and, you know, flip it around. I know there are some scripts that'll set it so you can only move on your turn, or you can't, you know, touch anything. You know, for instance, if everybody had full control, you could go into a multiplayer game and just flip the table like that and run away. But let me just show you some of the more powerful aspects of this tabletop simulator. So what I've done is I've gone and downloaded a bunch of workshop items. One of the ones that I particularly liked, a lot of my friends have been playing this game here called Kingdom Death Monster, and this is a huge game, as you'll see in a second. I believe the physical copy of this game costs a few $100s, maybe like $200, $300, because of all the models and such. But here we have it inside Tabletop Simulator for practically free, besides what you paid for the game. I don't know about the ethical implications of that, whether or not the publishers of Kingdom Death Monster are cool with that. I have no idea. They may be, they may not be. But basically, if somebody has taken the trouble to upload it into this game, into this workshop, you can access it for free. I don't know if publishers are sending out C&Ds or, you know, any sort of letters to people saying that they have to take their games off of here. I'm sure it has happened, but, I mean, just take a peek. So this is taking a little bit to load because it has a lot of parts, 869 individual parts for this particular game. As you can see loading up in the background, there's a lot of stuff going on here. You got a lot of cards on the table, you know, a lot of dice and chests and, you know, different things. And basically with how the custom items work, you can turn any custom item into a chest, which is actually pretty cool. So on a side note, let me just show you my favorite item in this game. So as a host, you can open up this chest tool on the side, and it'll open up all of the objects that you have saved in the game, which in order to save an object, like see this skull here, I can just load into any workshop that I want. Make sure that this is unlocked here, pick it up, and I can just right click it and click save to chest, and that will allow me to access this from any of the loaded mods and then copy it and, you know, paste it into my game. So that's a pretty cool feature. I've got a whole boatload of skulls there. And you can load in basically any item here that you see is a custom loaded in item. So say I have this in Photoshop, I have all of the rules for my game in Photoshop as images, and then you can load those as high definition models or objects in the game. So as you can see, they've put all of the different rule cards in this game on different panels in the map. Sorry, my ADD kind of took over. What I was trying to show you, guys here, is one of my favorite items that I've picked up this way by just going into mods and saving them. I found this in one of my friend's games, and this is a Kirby bag in which you can put any item you want for that item, apparently. Anyway, for the bags to work, I think they have to be relatively bigger than the object that you're trying to put them in, but you can just hit plus or minus to modify the size of the object. So now I've got this giant Kirby bag, and I'm gonna try to put, yep, you just put the skull in there. You can put basically anything you want, and then like how I showed you how to save the object like earlier, you can save a bag, and then all of the objects that you put in the bag are saved. So say I'm playing a game with my friends and I see a bunch of things that I would like to use in my own game, I can actually just copy them, paste them, and put them in my bag, and then just save the whole bag, and then I can drag it into my game. So I actually used that method to create my own role-playing game, and I actually like this chest. So just I never noticed it before, so let me just save this real fast, and now I can access that chest from any other mod that I want. Alright, so this game actually, there are a lot of really interesting objects in this game, such as these counters here. You can actually set these counters to any number you want, and that's an awesome way to keep track of your... Oops, I accidentally changed the wrong thing there. But anyway, this is an awesome way to keep track of your stats and stuff. So I actually think I want to save one of these so I can use it in my game later, because I do not have a counter like this in my map that I'm about to show you. So what I've been using for counters in my role-playing games are just dice, which is, you know, the classic way. Oops, that's not what I want. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you my role-playing game that I've been working on. We're not going to go too in-depth because I do have a lot of rules and a lot of stuff going on in it, but I just want to... It's very D&D-esque, so if you're familiar with Dungeons & Dragons, then you'll know that there's a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of stats and, you know, things that you can do, but... This is the room that I've set up. It's going to take a second to load in. Yeah, okay, background's loaded in. So I have basically pieced together all sorts of mods and stuff, workshop items together to kind of form this map. So shout out to anybody if you are the original content creator of any of these items. I have basically, Finster is one of the uploaders that a majority of my stuff has come from. As you can see when I mouse over this side table here, it says by Finster. A lot of the stuff you're going to see probably says that because I took a lot from one of his role-playing room mods on here. So we'll just take a look at, we'll start with the GM table here before I go into what my game's actually like. I have these infinite bags set up, so basically you can make an infinite bag and then whatever you put in it, it will spit out an infinite amount of that item later. So I grabbed the bag for one of each type of die. I have infinite bags for gold and, of course, platinum and copper and what have you, in case I need to dole out change or gold on the spot, or, you know, I need to grant somebody a reward or whatever. Here I've got the bounty chest that players will be rewarded from for the first level that I've set up. When they defeat the first boss, they will be getting prizes out of this chest. The way that the chests are set up, you can actually shuffle them by either right-clicking and pressing shuffle, or as you can see, it'll say R to shuffle, or you can actually pick it up and shake it around and it'll shuffle all the items in there, which is pretty cool. I have this target here to indicate threat, and I have this infinite bag of treasure chests, so if I need to create more chests because something got lost, or I need to generate more treasure for more players or whatever, I can grab chests out of here and just fill them as I see fit with these bags of treasure. These are some additional class traits. As you'll see later, I have some classes set up, and if I need to grant them a different trait than they already have because maybe the player is bored or does not like their trait, I have made some backup traits and also traits that they will be able to get for their character later on in the game. This is just set up on one of the tools that they have available. Let me show you the tool menu. The basic tools that this game provides you are actually pretty nifty. So the note card is number one. As you saw here, you basically just right-click it and type in whatever you want, and it will reflect that on the note card. So this is good for, obviously, for taking notes or making custom things for your characters if you don't want to go out into the editor and make it. Some of the text tools in this game are not that great. As you can see, there's a text option over here, but writing on it is kind of weird. See, it didn't put it on top of what I clicked. It's like very strange and very large, and I don't really like it. So I like to use these note cards instead. Let me go back out here into the chest, and while we're in here, as you can see, there's an MP3 player which has some preloaded songs. You can't put custom songs in this MP3 player. I can imagine.
7, 6, 5, 4,
oh yeah,
3, 2,
oh yeah, get it. That's pretty cool. So you may be able to add custom music somehow in this game, but with this MP3 player, it is just a set playlist here. But then you can add a counter if you need to. It's like your basic counter, plus minus reset. Clock, infinite bag, a regular bag, and a calculator are some of the basic tools that they give you, which is pretty nice. But then here is the really strange item available in this game. This is a in-game tablet in which you have a fully functional web browser built in. Google Chrome. Obviously, it's an older version of Chrome. I don't know if the browser is built into the game or if it's taking your own web browser that you use. I'm not sure. I'm going to assume that they have put their own little version of Chrome in here. But it's fully functional. You can actually go. Let's take a look at my website. lolhighscore.com, not highscore. lolhighscore.com. Let it load up, and boom, there you have it. There is my website in full detail here. Fully functional. It is resized a little too small for my Facebook integrated sidebar to pop up because I have that set up. It's actually displaying the mobile version of the site. So pretty nice. You can see my friend Marcus's article on Ascension here. It's pretty easy to read. It's it's not blurry or fuzzy or anything. It's got the I have some JavaScript functions that should be loading up at the bottom here anytime now. And perhaps the JavaScript does not like this browser. Alright, there it is. There's the like, share, and comment buttons, fully functional in here. You can even go to, let's go to YouTube. Alright, so you want to check out the rules for a particular game, and you want to show anybody can see what is going on here. It's not just the user, so this is going to display out to everybody in the room. So, I mean, if you want to grief your friends and put on some weird tentacle videos or something, you can go ahead and do that. Or you can look up the rules to the game you're playing, or you can rickroll them, or you can search for my Starbound video. And let's actually see. I'm sure it's going to be more difficult than that to find my own videos. Oh, look. Okay, good. I'm right there. Sometimes my videos don't get indexed very nicely because I'm really bad at YouTube.
Hey guys, Dex here with LOL High.
Oh yeah, got my own video right there. It's really meta, watching my video in my video. So, pretty cool, right? Alright. So anyway, enough of that. Let me just show you what I've kind of got going on. So we've got these Kirby trash bins for people to discard any unwanted items in, and the graveyard in case their hero dies. And what I've created is a pretty simple D&D-esque role-playing game. So here in the middle you have the world of Vex. It is the world map. And as you explore the world that I've created within this map, or within this campfire, more things will be added to the world map so that when you come out to this screen, it will be populated by all of the villages and dungeons and stuff that you can visit. So for now, as you can see when you mouse over it, it says 1, so there's one thing within the world map. So you can drag that out, and it is a gazebo. It says Larenthier Village. So the GM, who's going to be running the show, will place the village wherever he pleases on the world map, and then he will place the world map itself off to the side out of the way, and then he will populate the zone with the objects contained in the map. And just keep in mind, this is just something that I completely made up. You can literally do anything you want in this thing. You can do whatever your little heart desires. You can create certain scripts, like coding scripts that the objects follow if you are smart enough to do that. I'm not that smart, but I mean, there's like a lot you can do in here. Okay, so as we can see, we have a few buildings here. Now the GM is going to ask the characters, or the players, to draw their characters out of the Adventurers Guild. So inside the guild, there's a bag full of classes. So people will be able to search this bag and select their class if they would like. As you can see, I've made a knight, a rogue, a bard, a monk, an apprentice, and a custom hero. If you don't like any of those choices, there will be a way to customize your character, because these are all just prefabricated characters. So we're just going to pull the ranger out. My personal favorite in this game, it's kind of like my love child, is the rogue, but the first one I pulled out was the ranger, so we're going to check her out. Okay. And you can see inside here you have some random various objects. So we'll pull out her character card first, and I made it smaller because it's just easier to handle objects that way, but we're actually going to increase the size of her character sheet. And as you can see, you may recognize this picture. I just took this picture off of Google. I just Googled D&D Ranger, and this is something that came up. It's probably a DeviantArt. Somebody probably drew this, and thank you. I wish I could give you credit. I don't know. I just took it off of Google. But you're awesome if you drew this. As a beautiful picture of a cool chicky ranger, and she's going to be whooping some ass in my campaign. But most people are going to create custom heroes in this game, and if I ever publish this, I'm definitely going to replace all this artwork with some custom or definitely credited work. So don't worry about that. Anyway. So she's got a treasure chest here with some coins in it. Everybody's going to start out with this chest with a little bit of gold in it, and that's also where people will be storing their goodies that they get along the way. She's got a trait that she starts with, so characters will be able to gain more traits as they progress and trade out. I think I'm going to make a maximum of 3 traits, so if you find a 4th trait, you'll have to pick one to trade out so you don't become like really OP over time. This trait allows her to command an animal, and that animal can scout an area of 20 squares for hidden monsters and treasures, which would be really useful to have this person in your party for this. So speaking of the animal companion, she starts out with a level 1 raven companion, who all the objects in this game that attack, they have all of their dice actually stored in them. So the accuracy die and the attack die for this animal companion that she has are actually stored inside the companion itself. And it's going to work the same way with her bow. She's got a bow and a quiver. And so the bow has the accuracy check die in it. And the arrow, she's going to have a limited amount of arrows, and an arrow is going to be something that she has to loot throughout the course of the game. So the arrow comes out of the quiver. As you can see, the quiver holds 25 arrows. It has 24 now that I've pulled it out. And after you use it, you will discard your die. I'm thinking I'm going to make a way for her to recover arrows as a trait or a skill later on. Anyway, let me just finish clearing this out here. These are going to be all of her stats. We're not going to bother setting this up because this could take a while. But she's got her stat die, and as you can see, if you hover over her card, her base stats are recorded on the card, so you know what to set them to. If you were making a custom hero, you would be able to assign 26 points total for your die, however you would please on the stat chart. And you've got her health die up here, which that counter I saved earlier is going to actually come in handy better for that. So I'm going to copy and paste that here later. And actually, I can incorporate it right now so you can see. But her hero, her token is going to be there. And once they select their heroes are actually going to go into play. She also has this wooden axe for melee attacks. And once again, the axe has its accuracy and attack die stored within inside of it. So basically, instead of having to modify their statistics, as they progress, if they get a new item, the new item's capabilities are stored within the item, so you don't have to do any math or any number crunching or whatever. It's all just there. You don't even really have to think about it. One die will be accuracy, the other die will be the damage die. They could have more than one. If a die wants to do, 3 rolls worth of damage, I could put 3 dice in there. But everything should be contained within the item that it belongs to. So that's I think this is going to be a really cool game once I get all of the kinks worked out. But if you can take a look in here, there's a few things that the hero will be able to interact with. If they talk to the mayor is going to give them a quest. And the quest is actually contained within the mayor himself here. A horrible monster has been attacking travelers in Larenthir Forest, and we fear it may set its gaze on our village. Please defeat it. Your efforts will be well rewarded. So the GM would place that onto the character's world map, so when they go out to the world map, they can actually go into the forest, and there's a whole quest module. Let me just show you real quick. Within this little fungus guy, there's actually an entire quest module inside, full of monsters and maps and everything needed to play that module. So everything is really well contained. I'm actually pretty proud of all the containers to make these quests with. So this is going to be added to the world map for the GM to modify when they go back out there. Also, the character at this point can interact with a few other items. Let's put the class kit, starter kit, back in the Adventurers Guild. There's a church here where they can they can donate, to restore their health. And then I also have a little special thing set up where if the Church of Mora receives 1 gold total, a priest of Mora will appear in Larenthir Village, and that will actually unlock the priest as a playable character for the adventurers of this game. So I thought that was a cool little bonus for veterans that have been playing this campaign for a long time. They'll be able to trade their character in for a priest if they prefer. Or if they wanted to add a new player, say we were playing with 4 people and a 5th wanted to join, they could, they could unlock the priest. So then we have the Drunken Donkey Inn. Many tales or tall tales are told at this inn. Only a fool would believe them. So if you pull out this, if you go and talk to the drunken fool in here, the GM will guide you through that conversation. It unlocks this Shrine of Og. And it says, the town drunk keeps muttering about some shrine in the forest. He claims that he took some coins from the offering bowl at the shrine, and a claw started coming from a fiery portal in the center of the shrine. He dropped the coins and ran back to the village as fast as he could, without looking back. Maybe we should go check this out. And so that's going to add the Shrine of Og to the world map. Now, I think that's everything that I have set up that you can do in the town at the time. We've talked to the mayor, went to the inn, and so the GM, when the adventurers decide that it's time to go back to the world map, the GM will put everything back into the Larenthir Village node, which I've made this gazebo, if you remember. And then the world map's going to come back up, and the additional quest nodes are now available on the world map for the players to choose from. Oh, I'm sorry, this is being difficult. So say the adventurers wanted to choose, pardon my coughing, I've got kind of a dry throat right now, but say what the adventurers want to choose the forest or the shrine. They decide they want to go with the shrine, so then you can travel to the shrine, pack everything up back into the world map, which, like I said, the GM will be taking care of all the setup stuff so the players don't have to be terribly bored with it. And then within the shrine, the GM will pull all of the objects out, which there's a search feature, so they don't pull out things that they don't want to, because we don't want to pull out these monsters yet, because we don't want to tip off the character to what is inside the shrine. But as the drunk said in the description, when he touched the shiny objects before the shrine, it summoned the monster. So perhaps the heroes want to be careful. They want to check out the shrine. They could interact with the shrine, touch the shrine, and it would say, perhaps the GM would tell them that it feels warm to the touch. A wizard might be able to make a spell check or an intellect check to show that the shrine holds a portal, and then maybe they say, well, we don't want to fight anything right now, so we want to run away. Or the less wise adventurer could do the same thing or less wise or more brave, I should say, could do the same thing that the town drunk said back in the inn, and take the bowl of goodies here, and that would disturb the shrine, and the monster would come out, and they'd have to fight this boss demon monster, which, if the heroes choose to do this first thing before they've done any of the other modules, or any of the, say the quest the mayor has told them to get, they are going to die, because I made this thing a beast. But if they do manage to kill it, the prize is within him, as is with all the monsters. Once you kill it, the loot is actually just right in the model. So you can pull out these tokens, and it says Og Bounty Token, and it says redeem in Larenthir for a prize. So if you take this back to Larenthir, the GM will reward you. So this guy's a beast. If you get him to a certain amount of health, it actually summons backup, these hellhounds. And it's just like a basic, this shrine is just set up as like a basic boss shrine, to kind of be more of a mini activity than a campaign. So then I've set up the Larenthir forest with a little more storyline, a lot more creatures, a lot more loot, and basically the order that you want to do this particular one in is to do the Larenthir forest module, and then come back and do the shrine after you've gotten some sweet gear for your characters. Anyway, that's just one thing that I've made in this game. Like I said, people are making tons of stuff, all their own stuff, stuff that maybe games that they like that they can't find people to play with physically, or just the possibilities for this game are crazy. Like I said, you can make anything you want in here, any board game, any card game. Let me just show you one crazy thing that I saw. I had to save this to my workshop. I guess there are these models of things called Heroclix, and it's like an action figure game. Well, somebody made all of the characters, or some of the characters, not all of the characters, that'd be a lot, but some of the characters from Dota 2 into these like really high quality Heroclix figurines, and they've got their own cards with all of their stats on it. They actually have the dial, like I guess this is a game where you can it has like these stats that you can set for the characters to keep track of their like health and stuff, or an attack, and you can actually spin these things. Like these are really high quality figurines that they've made, that they've recreated in this game, and shout out to whoever did this. This is crazy. And like I said, I don't know much about this game, but I do know that that these look awesome in here. So this is my favorite guy, Tidehunter. I got Tidehunter t-shirts, I got Tidehunter beer mugs. This is my dude. So yeah, and they have the whole Dota map recreated in here, like tile style. But yeah, I mean, $20. Check it out. This thing is crazy. And you know, if all your friends have this, you guys can be entertained for forever, man. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Once again, this is Vex with LOLHighscore.com, and peace out.